Welcome. We are initiating ourselves for glimpsing and imbibing the characteristic features of mathematical domain of Ganita sutras parallel with the mathematical domain of the text of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The creative domain of real force space is the distinguishing mark of the creator of the space. Lord Brahma is creator, the supreme. The formulation Brahma is of TC value 29, and value 29 is parallel with 29 versions of hypercube 14, while value 14 itself is parallel with the summation value of four folds of hypercube 4, the representative regular body of force space in force space along the manifestation format of features parallel with idol of Lord Brahma. Sadkhas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be parallel with Vedic systems, Vedic mathematics, and other glaring distinguishing features of Vedic systems shall visit hypercube 4 as representative regular body of force space manifesting in force space along the format parallel with the features of Lord Brahma, creator the supreme. The Sadkhas shall glimpse value 29 for its distinguishing features. There are 16 sutras and 13 Upsutras. These together make value 29. And this value 29 is parallel with TCV of formulation Brahma. Now, if we visit the internal organizational features of numbers values 1 to 16, then as is the tabulation of the computer screen, the numbers 1 to 16 will yield 29 factors. Numbers values range 1 to 16 is leading us to as many as 29 factors. That means the numbers value range 16 is adding value 13 as the value which together with the numbers values makes the value 29. It is this feature of number value 29 which will provide us the insight as to how the 16 sutras are having 13 sutras, the ancillary, the auxiliary hymns. Further, if we visit the organization of double-digit numbers of 10 place value system along 9 cross 11 grid, as is on the computer screen, it would be blissful to take note that this organization is structurally of upper part and lower part with separating line 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. The upper part is having the mirror line along 11, 22, 33, and 44, while the lower part is having a mirror line along 55, 66, 77, 88, and 99. One may have a pause here and take note that the Vedic systems have successfully comprehended the reflection feature of the artifices or numbers. It is embedding of the mirrors within the artifices of features, which is a unique comprehension of Vedic system. Vedic system is successful to organize the existence phenomenon of the solar universe only as the Vedic systems have comprehended, imbibed, and fully exploited the reflection pairing of artifices because of embedding of the mirrors within it. The embedding of the mirrors within the artifices of numbers is one such unique feature which in a way can be taken as the characteristic distinguishing feature of Vedic number value systems over and above our present day modern number value system comprehension. The sadhakas fulfilled with intensity efforts shall sit comfortably and to have a visit to the upper part of this 9x11 grid accommodating all the double digits numbers of 10 place value system. These double digit numbers are constituting the reflection pairs as objects and images around the mirror line 11, 22, 33, and 44. It would be blissful to take note that the upper row 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and the separating line 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 constitutes as many as 9 reflection pairs. 01 with 10, 02 with 20, 03 with 30, 04 with 40, 05 with 50, 06 with 60, 07 with 70, 08 with 80, and 09 with 99. These 9 reflection pairs together with the self-reflecting artifices 11, 22, 33, 44 along the mirror line as such make a setup of 13 reflection pairs. These 13 reflection pairs manifest the format for 13 sutras. The remaining in between reflection pairs like 12 with 21, 13 with 31, 14 with 41, and 23 with 32, 15 with 51, 24 with 42, 16 with 61, 25 with 52, 34 with 43, 17 with 71, 26 with 62, 35 with 53, and 18 with 81, 27 with 72, 36 with 63, and 45 with 54. These are 16 reflection pairs. One may have a pause here and take note that these 16 reflection pairs and another 13 reflection pairs have one distinguishing feature, and it is that the 13 reflection pairs are either having 0 as one of the digits, or there are record artifices like 11, 22, 33, and 34. One shall sit comfortably and to comprehend this distinguishing feature of this set of 13 reflection pairs and 16 reflection pairs as organized, as classified as the upper part of the grid 9x11. One may have a pause here and take note that the Sam Ved Samhita is accepting organization of the format of 29 archics. The 5th chapter of the text of Srimad Bhagavad Gita is of 29 shlokas range. And this grid 9x11 as well is the format of 13th chapter, the last 13th chapter of the text of Srimad Durga Saptasati, which is also a scripture of 700 shlokas range, like Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is a scripture of 700 shlokas range. It is the 5th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and it is 13th chapter of Srimad Durga Saptasati, which are having these distinguishing features of availing artifices of artifice. Number value 29. One shall sit comfortably and to permit the transcending mind to be parallel with these organization format features. In this background, we shall visit four space domain, the domain fold of hypercube 4. It is within the domain fold of hypercube 4 that 12-edged cube acquires additional 13th edge because of the availability of degree of freedom of motion along the fourth dimension. It is this 13th edge manifestation feature which deserves to be comprehended well as we are having 13 Ganita Sutras. Four space is a spatial dimensional setup of quadruple dimensions which may constitute manifest dimensional frame of value 2 raised to the 4 is equal to 16. One should sit comfortably and to permit the transcending mind to glimpse and imbibe this characteristic feature of four space domain, that it is contained within a dimensional frame of value 2 raised to the 4, that is 16, as well as within four space domain 12 as the cube acquires the 13th edge. As such, one shall be blissfully parallel with the internal organizational structural setup of four space domain when we shall be permitting our mind to glimpse as that the transcendental origin, five space as origin, when transcends out, it splits four space domain as a pair of four-dimensional space, making value 454 of summation value 13. And the origin of the transcendental origin, when will transcend out, it will split the transcendental domain itself as well into a pair of transcendental domains, making value 565 of summation value 16. One shall sit comfortably and permit the transcending mind to be parallel with these characteristic features of the creative domain, the domain fold of real four space. Further, the transcendental origin, when transcends out, it creates a void, vacuum, a transcendental cavity at the seed of the transcendental origin, at the seed of the center of the four space domain. Therefore, sadhakas fulfilled with intensity efforts to be parallel with the internal organizational structural setup of creative domain. One shall sit comfortably and to glimpse the transcendental phenomenon of creation of transcendental cavity at the origin seed. We know that transcendental origin within four space on its transcendence as such will manifest a creative gap at the mouth of the transcendental cavity. And this creative envelope at the mouth of the transcendental cavity is going to be a creative boundary of 10 components. Still further, it will be very, very blissful for the sadhakas to glimpse and imbibe the happening of creation of the transcendental cavity at the origin seat and transcendence within the transcendental domain itself, that is within the inner folds of the transcendental cavity. It is this phenomenon of transcendental cavity unfolding itself as its internal folds, and as to how the sadhakas can glimpse, imbibe, and be parallel with this happening of the transcendental cavity of a characteristic feature of its unfolding as the inner folds of the transcendental cavity. On the computer screen is the depiction of this setup of the transcendental cavity as of folds within folds. How these folds within folds of the transcendental cavity deserve to be comprehended for to be parallel with the Vedic systems. This inner fold of the outer fold of the transcendental cavity is the phenomenon which is of transcendental features. We shall be coming to these aspects for their detailed appreciation, but here for the present, as the initial glimpse, we can just take as that from the origin seat, the transcendental origin seat, there happens a flow of 7 streams. We know that 5 space is playing the role of dimension of 7 space. Therefore, the phenomenon of transcendence of the transcendental origin in itself would mean that the transcendental origin on its transcendence from within the origin seat of the creator space will amount to creation of 7 space. And as such, there happens a transcendental phenomenon of flow of 7 streams. It is this phenomenon of 7 streams which brings us face to face with as to how the central stream proceeds on as the transcendental cavity has no bottom, and the other 6 streams as pair of triple streams on the eastern and western side of the central stream as such manifest a 3-dimensional frames pairs which that way amount to creation of the transcendental domains again. This amounts to the happening of the split of the transcendental domain into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, and at the same time the internal fold of the transcendental domain remaining intact. One shall sit comfortably and to permit the transcending mind to be through these characteristic happening at the seat of the transcendental origin of the creator's space. We shall be coming to these aspects for their detailed comprehension, for their detailed glimpsing, for their comprehensive glimpsing, and for the present, it will just be blissful that one just sits comfortably and permits the mind to have a glimpse of the features of this phenomenon as one can comprehend at the present stage of initiation. It will be blissful to take note that the outer fold of the transcendental cavity, as is depicted, will lead us to a pair of transcendence ranges of 0 order. We know that 4 space is of spatial order, while 0 space is dimension of 4 space. Now it is this happening at the seat of a transcendental origin as a pair of transcendence ranges of 0 order, and the summation value is 20. This is parallel with TC value of formulation Ganesh, and the inner fold is a transcendence range, a composite transcendence range 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of value 20 again, and it is as TC is Scanda. Lord Ganesh and Lord Scanda are the transcendental lords. They belong to the transcendental family of Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati. Lord Ganesh as the outer fold and Lord Scanda as the inner fold of the transcendental cavity, while the innermost fold of the transcendental cavity is transcendental Lord Shiv itself in an affine state of 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. We shall be approaching, we shall be visiting, we shall be glimpsing, we shall be comprehending, and we will be blissfully comprehending. We will have a complete comprehension, but for it, we have to initiate ourselves well. We have to put ourselves on the transcendental meditation path, and with it, we can be blissfully parallel with the Vedic systems. The Sadkhas initiation steps as such shall be of 4 formulation: karma, tap, yajna, and dan. Lord Krishna and puts enlightenment as that tap, yajna, and dan are the essential karmas. Ganita Sutras 1, 2, 3, and 4 as of 16, 28, 15, and 17 letters, and as of 75, 107, 56, and 51 TC values. Together with these quadruple formulations, karma, tap, yajna, dan, of FTCV 604.1, 511, 583, 663 deserve to be approached as parallel, pure and applied values of the Vedic systems. We are initiating ourselves and we are preparing ourselves for this mathematical domain. From the transcendental seat, there is a 7 streams flow. 4 space is of value 14, 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. 7 streams with 3 streams on the left and 3 streams on the right of the central. The central flow for 14 is parallel with the 13 gaps of the 14 points range, and the value 11 is 3 less than 14 and value 17 is 3 more than 14. So it brings us face to face with as to how karma is there, and of it the tap, yajna, and dan are the essential ingredients. These cannot be dispensed with, rather these are to be followed. And when we will be coming to the internal 10 folds of formulation tap, it will lead us to value 511, which is 8 less than 519. And we know that the 6th sutra is having 8 letters formulation and rupe within brackets, means their presence is there and it is not there. One shall sit comfortably and permit the transcending mind and to have glimpse of these features and values. For perfection of initiation, we have to be through the 10 folds of TC values of quadruple formulation, karam, tap, yajna, and dan, and in terms thereof, we shall be having further perfection of our initiation steps. Thank you very much.